Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. The Yi clan had obtained the top position. This information was like a heavy bomb to the factions and people waiting for the humiliation of the Yi clan. Many people had even been discussing whether or not the Yi clan was qualified to retain its position among the 5 great clans. However, this sudden information seemed to have given them a ruthless slap, causing many people to fill with disbelief. After the information began to spread and become clearer, some of the people understood the reason for this matter. All of this was due to a young man named Xiao Yan. Hence, within a short few days, Xiao Yan had become a hot topic within Holy Pill City. Many people were extremely interested in him. A dark horse comparable to Xiao Yan had suddenly appeared. While the outside world had turned into an uproar over this matter, Xiao Yan had begun to keep an extremely low profile. He seldom left the Yi manor, choosing to stay within it all day. He quietly practiced the spiritual handprint he had secretly learned from Xiao Yan. Time slowly flowed by amid this quiet training of his. The start of the pill gathering approached following the flow of time. With this approaching pill gathering, a massive crowd began to flood into Holy Pill City. Almost every part of this spacious area was filled with a countless number of human figures. Some of the inns and hotels in the city were completely full. This region had become the place where a countless number of gazers in the Central Plains region gathered. Xiao Yan was seated on a stone chair with his eyes shut in a quiet courtyard deep within the Yi manor. Both of his hands were forming numerous mysterious hand seals at a very slow rate. If one were to carefully observe, one would discover that these hand seals formed the spiritual handprint Xiao Yan had secretly learned from Xiao Yan back then. Although Xiao Yan was considered slow at using these hand seals, he no longer looked as unfamiliar with them as he had back then. Moreover, with the change of his hand seal, the spiritual strength between his eyebrows would automatically spread out. Immediately, it orbited the seals in a unique way. The change in the hand seals continued for around 10 minutes or so before it slowly stopped. Xiao Yan's eyes were slowly opened. A turbid air was gently released from his throat. The turbid air left Xiao Yan's body. Xiao Yan slowly stood up and placed both of his hands behind him. After which, he turned his body, and his dark black eyes stared at an empty space within the courtyard. He faintly asked, "Since you are here, why are you still hiding yourself? You are indeed worthy of being that old fellow Yao Chen's disciple. Your perception is quite good." A slight fluctuation immediately materialized from that empty space after Xiao Yan's voice sounded. Soon after, a human figure wrapped in a black robe slowly surfaced from the distorted space. Xiao Yan's eyes stared at the unwelcome guest. He could sense a familiar feeling from the other party. Someone from the Hall of Souls. Xiao Yan's tone was icy as he suddenly asked. "Cuckoo, I have heard that the bone-chilling flame of that old fellow Yao Chen is with you. I am here to borrow it." The black-robed human figure laughed. A deep blue flame slowly rose from his body after his voice sounded. Xiao Yan's eyes suddenly narrowed when he saw the deep blue flame. Sea heart flame. The deep blue-colored flame appeared extremely mysterious. The flame was like transparent sea water that slowly spread apart as it rose. Its faint ripple was just like ripples of water. The glazed lotus heart flame within Xiao Yan's body fluctuated the moment this deep blue flame appeared. He was not unfamiliar with this kind of fluctuation, because every time a heavenly flame met another heavenly flame, both flames would form this kind of special fluctuation. Moreover, Xiao Yan was also familiar with this deep blue flame. He had seen it on Han Feng's body back then. Sea Heart Flame, a heavenly flame ranked 15th on the heavenly flame ranking. Xiao Yan's eyes stared at the deep blue flame on the black-robed person's body. A moment later, his voice was a little deep as he asked, "Han Feng's Sea Heart Flame?" Back when Han Feng had reappeared after having been rescued by the people from the Hall of Souls, he had lost this Sea Heart Flame. From what he had said, it had been taken away by the Hall of Souls. Now, this person, who had suddenly appeared in front of him, was a member of the Hall of Souls. It was obvious that this heavenly flame was the Sea Heart Flame that Han Feng had lost. "Your eyesight is not bad," the black-robed person did not deny this as he faintly laughed. Under his black robes, his glowing eyes stared at Xiao Yan in a somewhat heated manner. He said, "I know that you possess more than one heavenly flame in your body. The reason I have come to look for you this time around is not to capture you and bring you back to the Hall of Souls. That is something for the others to do. My ultimate aim is the Qi method you practice. The Qi method that allows heavenly flames to merge with each other. A killing intent that was difficult to suppress suddenly rose within Xiao Yang's heart, as he sensed the searing hot eyes under the black robes. Flame mantra was his greatest secret. Anyone who dared desire it needed to be killed. This is Holy Pill City. The limbs of the Hall of Souls really reach far. Xiao Yang laughed in a cold and dense manner. The Do Qi within his body appeared like floodwaters, as it whizzed and surged forward. His entire body remained in an extremely cautious state. In order for this black-robed person to appear in this place in such a quiet manner, that person's strength must be terrifying. At the very least, Xiao Yang sensed a dangerous aura from the other party that required him to treat this person seriously. That Qi method is something that I had gotten my hands on first. However, that old fellow Yao Chen used a despicable method to snatch it from me. I am currently only taking back the thing that belongs to me, the black-robed man softly laughed. He raised his head slightly. With the help of the moonlight, one was able to see a little of the man's pale chin. Xiao Yang's eyes immediately focused when he heard this man's words. He knew the flame mantra was something that Yao Lao had found from damaged ruins back then. Moreover, it was rumored that countless numbers of experts had been attracted to the ruins. Although Xiao Yang did not personally witness what happened, he could guess that an intense battle had to have erupted for the things that remained. I know that there are 2 elite Dozuns within this place. However, I have already used a spiritual lock in this small courtyard. They will not be able to discover anything for some time. The black-robed person moved his sleeve and a shriveled hand that seemed to be nothing but skin on bone slowly extended from his sleeves. He clenched his hand and a cluster of deep blue flames was swiftly formed into something like a ball. Hand over the Qi method and I will spare your life tonight. Xiao Yang's expression was ice cold. His body shook and the sound of thunder appeared. His body disappeared from the spot almost instantly and dodged the blue-colored fire spear. See restraining net. The hand of the black-robed person suddenly grabbed at the empty space behind him after Xiao Yang's figure disappeared. Numerous deep blue fire lines shot from his 5 fingers. They swiftly intertwined with each other to form a fire net, which wrapped around the empty air. An enormous heavy ruler suddenly hacked down and appeared where the fire net had rushed over. It continued down with great might and ruthlessly slammed into the deep blue-colored fire net. The glazed lotus heart flame collided with the sea heart flame, and a sizzling sound immediately erupted. The 2 types of heavenly flames began to wildly corrode each other. Break. Xiao Yang's eyes turned chilly during the erosion. The jade-green flame suddenly erupted and violently danced, forcefully splitting apart the deep blue fire net. Xiao Yang's body swiftly pulled back. While he did so, the jade-green flame on his hand was split into 2, transforming into the green lotus core flame and the fallen heart flame. After which, they merged once again. Within a short few breaths' time, an exquisite jade-green fire lotus appeared. With Xiao Yang's current strength, creating this fire lotus by merging of 2 flames had already reached the point where it was easy as he please. Xiao Yang flicked his finger after the fire lotus was formed. It carried a beautiful fire tail as it rushed toward the black-robed person. Xiao Yang waved his hand after the fire lotus rushed over. The earth demon puppet appeared. Under Xiao Yang's order, the puppet charged at the black-robed person without any fear of death. At the same time, Xiao Yang's body once again pulled back and appeared by the invisible barrier. Both of his fists appeared like a storm as they swiftly landed on the barrier. This caused the spiritual lock to continuously form ripples. Not a bad Do technique. It is able to merge heavenly flames. Looks like that Qi method has been beneficial to you. The black-robed person smiled in a dense manner. The deep blue flame, that adhered to his 10 fingers, swiftly moved in the space in front of him. Immediately, a cluster of deep blue flames agglomerated into the shape of a fireball. After which, the fireball split to form a fissure that swallowed the jade-green fire lotus. With your strength, you are still unable to break the spiritual lock that I have placed. The black-robed person faintly spoke. He looked at Xiao Yang, who was using his strength to attack the spiritual lock, with indifferent eyes after easily resolving the fire lotus and the earth demon puppet. Bang! Xiao Yang's fist violently smashed against the barrier. His expression became uglier as he looked at the spreading ripple. It was unexpected that this mysterious, black-robed person was actually this strong. Based on his guess, the strength of this person had likely reached a 3-star, or even a 4-star dozun. Although Xiao Yang's expression was a little ugly, he did not lose focus. This black-robed person might be strong, but Xiao Yang was not some persimmon that anyone could randomly need. I do not have much time. If you continue to remain stubborn, you should not blame me for killing you. The black-robed man's eyes were indifferent as they stared at Xiao Yang. He gently stepped through empty air, and slowly took one step at a time towards Xiao Yang. This was Holy Pill City. His actions must not be made known to others. Otherwise, if those people from the Pill Tower were to discover them, things would definitely be quite troublesome. Xiao Yang's expression became ice-cold as he glared at the black-robed figure slowly walking over. He flicked his finger, and a wisp of jade-green flame shot onto the earth demon puppet a short distance away, blasting apart the fire ropes binding its body. The earth demon puppet's body moved after it was freed. It rushed in front of Xiao Yang and stood before him like a metal tower. Xiao Yang widened his mouth after rescuing the earth demon puppet. A jade-green flame was spat out before splitting into the green lotus core flame and the fallen heart flame. He rubbed the dark black ring on his finger, and a dense white bone-chilling flame appeared. Ha ha, 3 types of heavenly flame. Not bad, not bad. The rumors are indeed true. Looks like I will gain a lot this time around. The black-robed person was a little surprised when he saw the 3 clusters of heavenly flames in front of Xiao Yang. He immediately let out a loud laugh as he clenched his palm. The deep blue flame rushed out of his palm. It slowly spread apart and completely wrapped around him. Looking from a distance, that black-robed man appeared just like a fire god, looking extremely mighty. Xiao Yang's eyes were dangerous. He inhaled a deep breath of air and a grayish-white-colored flame slowly rolled up his throat. Life transformation flame. A chill surged within Xiao Yang's eyes as he looked at this grayish-white flame in front of him. He immediately waved his hand, and he started to merge the 4 types of flames together in front of the stunned gaze of the black-robed person. Are you courting death? The expression of the black-robed person slightly changed. His body moved, and he transformed into a black shadow that shot towards Xiao Yang with lightning-like speed. The deep blue flame was swiftly gushing out of his palm. The speed of the black-robed man was extremely swift. He seemed to have merged with space, as he had appeared in front of Xiao Yang the moment he moved. His hand was curled, and he carried a sharp force that ruthlessly grabbed at the top of Xiao Yang's head. Xiao Yang was just about to activate his 3000 lightning movement to dodge, after sensing the black-robed person's sharp attack, when a slight shattering sound suddenly resounded over the courtyard. Xiao Yang swept around, only to find that the invisible barrier that had covered the courtyard had been shattered into a countless number of tiny spiritual fragments. A vast aura suddenly swept down from the stars when the spiritual barrier was broken. At the same time, a calm voice that was filled with vicissitude slowly reverberated over this small courtyard. The territory of the Pill Tower is not one that will allow your Hall of Souls to act wildly. The face of that black-robed person immediately changed when this voice sounded. He lifted his head to look at the sky as he cried out in a hoarse voice, Xian Kongzi. This sudden unexpected change also surprised Xiao Yang. His eyes swiftly looked to the night sky above his head. However, it was completely empty. There was not a single person there. However, the vast, mighty aura spreading down caused him to feel some fear. It's someone from the Pill Tower. Xiao Yang sighed in relief within his heart. The extermination fire lotus he was merging quickly paused before he carefully scattered it. His toes pressed on the ground, and he swiftly pulled back. A clear long roar was also emitted. The clear roar had just sounded when 2 figures rushed over to the courtyard as fast as lightning. They had appeared beside Xiao Yang in an instant. At the same time, their eyes were furiously looking at the mysterious, black-robed person in the air. Are you all right? The little fairy doctor glanced at the messy courtyard. Her grayish-purple eyes stared at the black-robed person in an icy manner while her mouth asked a question full of concern. Xiao Yang shook his head, and he replied with a deep voice, I'm all right. Be careful. This fellow is not an ordinary person. Tian Huazunja's face was a little ugly as he stared at the mysterious, black-robed person. He said with a cold smile, you are an elite dozun no matter how one puts it. Why are you sneaking about? At this moment, the hearts of the little fairy doctor and Tian Huazunja were undoubtedly furious. From the looks of the courtyard, it was obvious that it had just experienced a big battle. Moreover, the two of them did not sense a thing. The poor protection they provided would really cause one to feel ashamed. The mysterious, black-robed man remained suspended in the air. His sinister gaze flickered as he glanced at Xiao Yan. It was unexpected that the old fellows from the pill tower had managed to discover him despite him being so careful. His trace had already been locked onto by them. If he continued to stay any longer, it was likely that the experts from the pill tower would make it here soon. Xian Kongzi, this matter has nothing to do with your pill tower. Why must you bother in other people's business? The black-robed person cried out to the sky in a dark voice. This is Holy Pill City. If your Hall of Souls can randomly act atrociously in this place, how will my pill tower account to the public? The voice filled with a vicissitude slowly resonated from the sky. This time around, Xiao Yan could sense that this voice was emitted from empty space. Clearly, the person who had spoken had yet to arrive here. Instead, he was using a mysterious method to deliver his aura and deter this mysterious, black-robed person. Old bastard, the black-robed person clenched his teeth and softly cursed. After which, his dark, sinister eyes turned to Xiao Yang. He coldly said, "Consider yourself lucky. The heavenly flames and the Qi method shall remain with you a little longer. Remember, I will take them back sooner or later." The space behind him instantly distorted after he spoke. His figure became partially visible because of the distorted space. "You wish to leave?" The little fairy doctor's eyes turned chilly when she saw this. A grey dough Qi lingered on her hand before suddenly transforming into a greyish pillar that quickly shot through the air, rushing toward the black-robed person. With the two of them protecting you, I am indeed unable to do anything to you. However, you will also not be able to stop me if I wish to leave." The black-robed man let out a cold laugh when he saw the little fairy doctor attempt to stop him. He flicked his finger and a wisp of a deep blue flame shot out of his finger. After which, it violently collided with her greyish dough Qi. Both of them destroyed each other. "Xiao Yang, I will come and look for you again. I will definitely take your heavenly flames and your Qi method the next time we meet." A pair of dense eyes stared at Xiao Yang from under the black robe, after that person easily blocked the little fairy doctor's woeful poison dough Qi. Immediately, the figure moved his body and entered the distorted space. The space rippled and his body disappeared. "I will await you." Xiao Yang's dark black eyes were scary. He could sense that this person was quite strong. However, if they were to engage in an all-out fight, Xiao Yang had the confidence that the other party would not be left in good shape. "Damn it." The little fairy doctor involuntarily clenched her silver teeth and softly cursed after watching the black-robed person safely leave. "Forget it," Xiao Yang waved his hand. After which, he turned his eyes to the sky, cupped his hands together, and respectfully said, "Thank you, Elder, for lending a hand." The light of the stars in the sky suddenly agglomerated after Xiao Yang's voice sounded. The light transformed into a blurry, elderly light figure. The old voice filled with vicissitude was slowly emitted. "The old me cannot step away. The old me can only split my attention and act as a deterrence. This person is extremely mysterious. You should be more careful. If you have the time, you can come to the pill tower. You will be very safe there." "Thank you, Elder." Xiao Yang once again cupped his hands together. This elderly light figure should be an expert from the pill tower. He might even be one of the legendary three great heads. I will naturally need to take good care of the disciple of an old friend. Be careful of the profound Xian sect. They were the ones who revealed information about you to that person earlier. The elderly light figure faintly smiled. After which, the starlight fluctuated and slowly scattered. Xiao Yang contemplated the situation as he studied the spot where the figure made of starlight had disappeared. It seemed that his teacher's relationship with these people from the pill tower was quite good. "Who is the one who attacked you earlier?" The little fairy doctor turned her head, looked at Xiao Yang, and asked a question with knit eyebrows. "Someone from the Hall of Souls." A cold glint flashed across his eyes as he softly replied. "This person's spiritual strength has reached the pinnacle." The spiritual lock that he used from such a close proximity deceived the little fairy doctor, and me, Tian Huozunja spoke with a solemn face. Xiao Yang nodded. He did not manage to see the appearance of the black-robed person since the very beginning. Moreover, the voice he had heard did not appear too old, yet based on what he had said, this person was an expert from the same generation as Yao Lao. According to common sense, he should also be one of those old men who would not die. His strength should be a little stronger than mine. However, if we were to go all out, he might not be able to defeat me. The little fairy doctor parted the black hair in front of her forehead, as she said, however, this profound Xian sect is really a source of trouble. Xiao Yang's expression was a little cold. He had forgotten about the conflict he had with that group of people a couple of days back. Most of the people from the profound Xian sect were people who would take revenge for any offense. It was impossible for them to simply leave things be. However, it was unexpected that they did not act personally. Instead, they had leaked information about him, using others to kill him. This tactic was really ruthless. The one who has me the most worried is that black-robed person from earlier. We are unclear about his background. Xiao Yang's eyes slightly flickered. A moment later, his eyes coagulated. The sea heart flame is also in the hands of this person. Perhaps Han Feng knows a little information related to him. Xiao Yang suddenly clenched his hand when this thought flashed across his heart. A jade bottle appeared in his hand. His finger rubbed over the mouth of the bottle before emitting a suction force. An illusionary spiritual body rose up in an extremely weak manner. From the appearance of the spiritual figure, it was Han Feng. Who in the Hall of Souls did you gift your sea heart flame to? Xiao Yang glanced at this extremely weak Han Feng and asked with an icy voice. Han Feng was initially startled upon hearing Xiao Yang's question. Immediately, his eyes flickered. However, before he could say anything, an invisible flame rose on the tip of Xiao Yang's finger. It pierced toward the illusionary body lightning quick. Don't. I will speak. I will speak, Han Feng hurriedly cried out in shock upon seeing Xiao Yang's vicious, unhesitating tactic. The one who took my sea heart flame is an honorable elder in the Hall of Souls. People call him Old Mu Ji Yu. His position in the Hall of Souls is quite high, because he is a genuine Tier 8 alchemist on top of being a Dozun, and he is much valued by the Hall Chief of the Hall of Souls. Old Mu Ji Yu, Xiao Yang uttered this name softly in his mouth. The coldness in his eyes became denser. It was indeed those bastards from the Hall of Souls. Old Mu Ji Yu has an extremely deep, old grudge with Yao Chen. It is rumored that the both of them had the same teacher. However, due to some reason, Old Mu Ji Yu was expelled. Therefore, he views Yao Chen with great enmity. He will find any opportunity to make trouble with Yao Chen. Back then, I was played by him when I attacked Yao Chen. He wanted me to quietly steal the flame mantra, Han Feng carefully revealed. What? Xiao Yang's expression involuntarily changed when he heard his words. This Old Mu Ji Yu once had the same teacher as Yao Chen. Why is it that I have never heard teacher mention this? Xiao Yang asked in a deep voice. I have also never heard him mention it. This matter is something that Old Mu Ji Yu occasionally mentioned to me, Han Feng hurriedly replied, afraid that Xiao Yang would attack him. Xiao Yang slowly nodded. If Han Feng's words were true, that mysterious, black-robed person from earlier should be Old Mu Ji Yu. After all, there were very few people who knew about the flame mantra. Even some of those close to Xiao Yang were unaware of it. This person will never give up in order to get what he wants. He will definitely try his best to strike again. However, he would not dare to openly attack me with the strength currently beside me. There shouldn't be an issue if we are careful in the future. The pill gathering is about to begin. Right now, the plan is to get into the top 10 of the pill gathering and obtain the 3000 burning flame. At that time, I will no longer need to fear this old fellow even if I have to fight him alone the next time we meet. Xiao Yang's eyes twinkled. A moment later, he finally made up his mind. With a wave of his hand, he returned Han Feng's soul into the jade bottle and threw it into his storage ring. After which, he turned around and walked into his room. Find information on those people from the profound Xian sect tomorrow. Once is too many when it comes to such a thing. The little fairy doctor slowly nodded when she heard Xiao Yang's words filled with killing intent. She was aware that Xiao Yang had been truly angered this time around. When Xiao Yang walked out of his room the next day, he coincidentally found Yi Zhong standing in the courtyard. Yi Zhong sighed in relief after seeing Xiao Yang exit the room. Immediately, he revealed how ashamed he was. Given the matter that had happened yesterday, he failed to provide proper protection. Mr. Xiao Yang, I have already dispatched people. They have worked through the night and obtained information about the location of the profound Xian sect members. Xiao Yang was startled when he heard this. He looked at Yi Zhong's somewhat tired face. Clearly, he had worked through the night because of what happened last night. Immediately, Xiao Yang smiled, patted Yi Zhong's shoulder, and said, "What happened last night is not your fault." Even the little fairy doctor, and old Mr. Yao, failed to detect the threat. Yi Zhong bitterly smiled and nodded. He said, "The members of the profound Xian sect are in a manner on the southern side of the Holy Pill City's outer city. They are indeed the group in conflict with us at the alchemist trade fair. That white-clothed, young man is the son of the profound Xian sect's leader, Chen Xian. He is also an alchemist. It is rumored that he intends to participate in the pill gathering during this trip of his to Holy Pill City. The grey-clothed, old man by his side is the renowned Xian Zunja of the profound Xian sect. He is extremely strong. Additionally, there are 2 other elders, whose strengths have reached the peak of the Do Zone class, accompanying him." A fierce glint flashed across Xiao Yang's eyes as he nodded. Originally, he had not wished to form an enmity with the profound Xian sect. However, the other party had come and provoked him. They should not blame him for being vicious. "Mr. Xiao Yang, do you intend to attack them?" Yi Zhong hesitated for a moment, after seeing the way Xiao Yang acted before inquiring. "Once is enough given what happened yesterday," Xiao Yang softly replied. Yi Zhong licked his lips. He mused for a moment before saying, "I think that now is not the best opportunity to attack them. This place is, after all, Holy Pill City. That Chen Xian is also an alchemist recognized by the Pill Tower. Attacking them would inevitably attract the attention of the Pill Tower. Moreover, there are many experts beside Chen Xian. You will need to act stealthily when you attack, or you will need to kill every single person accompanying him. Otherwise, if word of this leaks, it will definitely stir the anger of the profound Xian sect. At that time, you might face a lot of trouble. After all, behind the profound Xian sect, there is still the great profound Sky sect. Is Elder Yi Zhong's intention to treat what happened last night as though nothing has occurred?" Xiao Yang frowned and asked. "Of course not," Yi Zhong hurriedly shook his head. He said, "It is just that you should be aware of how difficult it is to kill an elite Dozun. Once Xian Zunja escapes, turbulent times will follow. The one who is in charge of this group of people from the profound Xian sect is likely Chen Xian. I think that selling information about us to the black-robed person from last night was his idea. The pill gathering will be held soon. All the competitors who have passed the selection will enter a special realm during the pill gathering. That place will be the best place for you to act. There is always a large number of people that end up remaining in that realm forever after each pill gathering. Therefore, even if Chen Xian really meets with an accident there, the profound Xian sect would be hard-pressed to investigate." Xiao Yang's frowning eyebrows finally relaxed upon hearing this information. What Yi Zhong said was not without reason. The profound Xian sect would not be easier to deal with than the Ice River Valley, much less the even more powerful profound Sky sect behind it. Once word of what happened leaked, it would likely end up attracting a lot of trouble. He had already provoked the Hall of Souls. If additional factions were to be added to his list of enemies, it would definitely end up making his situation a lot worse. Elder Cheng from the Pill Tower has already arrived at the Yi Manor. The reason he has hurried over so early is probably because he is worried that you will attack the people from the profound Xian sect. After all, this is Holy Pill City. He needs to maintain the stability, Yi Zhong said. Elder Cheng is here. Xiao Yang was surprised. That's right, he arrived very early this morning. However, he said that there was no need to wake you. Xiao Yang slightly knit his eyebrows. Elder Cheng's early arrival clearly hinted at the upper echelons of the Pill Tower. They did not wish him to fight all out with the profound Xian sect at this moment. However, he understood them after some thought. Being the party that held the pill gathering, the Pill Tower did indeed hold the responsibility of maintaining order. The intervention of that expert from the Pill Tower last night should also be due to this reason. Let's head to the front yard and meet Elder Cheng. I'll temporarily put this matter aside. Once I enter the realm you mentioned, I will seek Chen Xian out. I cannot simply treat this kind of thing like it never happened. Xiao Yang mused for a moment and gradually became much calmer. With a wave of his hand, he took the lead and walked to the front yard. Yi Zhong sighed in relief upon hearing that Xiao Yang did not intend to attack at this moment. He hurriedly followed Xiao Yang after his sigh. When Xiao Yang and Yi Zhong hurried to the front yard, they coincidentally saw Elder Cheng seated in the leader's spot. The little fairy doctor, Qian Huazunja, and Xin Lan were seated by his side. You are finally here, Elder Cheng laughed when Xiao Yang walked into the large hall. After which, he stood up and said, I think that Yizhong has informed you why the old me has come here. Let's not say any more unnecessary words. All of you should follow me to the Pill Tower. There will also be other elders, who will go and knock on the doors of the fellows from the profound Xian sect. If you still feel uncomfortable in your heart, you will have opportunities in the future. At that time, the Pill Tower will not intervene or ask about the matter. However, this is a unique period of time. Hopefully, you will endure a little on account of the Pill Tower. Elder Cheng really knows how to joke. Since you have already put it this way, the little me will naturally obey you, Xiao Yan smiled. Currently, Holy Pill City was filled with people. All sorts of people were gathered in this place. Naturally, it would appear a little chaotic. If a fuse were to be lit during this period, trouble would explode forth. Hence, Xiao Yang understood the difficulty the Pill Tower faced. Relax, we will not allow you to be wronged for nothing. Aren't you interested in Cao Ying's spiritual handprint? The elder seats have already discussed the matter. When you arrive at the Pill Tower, we will allow you to ponder that soul skill, Elder Cheng smiled as he spoke. Xiao Yang was initially startled when he heard Elder Cheng's words. Joy immediately surged into his eyes as he hurriedly cupped his hands together to thank Elder Cheng. That spiritual handprint might not be very high level, but it was suitable for him, who was a beginner when it came to soul skills. Moreover, the spiritual handprint he had learned from Cao Ying was incomplete. It would really benefit him if he could study it completely. Since there is no problem, let's get moving. The association head wishes to meet you after we arrive at the Pill Tower. Elder Cheng smiled and took the lead to walk out of the Yi Manor. Xiao Yang's group exchanged glances with each other before following him. Part 1 end here.